When you think about the greatest moments in football history, your mind probably remembers unforgettable goals, legendary players, iconic World Cup finals, historic stadiums filled with roaring crowds. But very few people ever stop to think about one small detail that was present in every one of those moments. The boots. They have always been there, quietly carrying every sprint, every tackle, every pass, every shot. For more than a century, football boots have evolved alongside the game itself. From heavy leather work boots that slowed players down, to ultralight designs engineered with modern science. Every generation believed they had found the perfect boot, and every generation changed the game a little more than the last. The evolution of football wasn't shaped only by tactics, or legendary managers, or extraordinary footballers. It was also shaped by the equipment beneath their feet. Because football boots never simply protected the player. They transformed the way football could be played. They changed how players moved, how they controlled the ball, how quickly they accelerated, and ultimately, how the beautiful game itself evolved. This is the story of how one overlooked piece of equipment quietly helped shape the world's most popular sport. When modern fans think of football boots, they picture lightweight shoes built for speed. But the first footballers wore nothing like that. In the 19th century, there were no boots made specifically for football. Players simply stepped onto the pitch wearing their everyday work boots. They were crafted from thick, heavy leather, built to survive long days of labor. Not 90 minutes of football. Some pairs even featured reinforced toe caps for protection. Comfort was never the priority. Durability was. A single boot could weigh more than an entire pair of modern football boots. When rain soaked the leather, each step became even heavier. Running demanded more effort. Turning became slower. Even striking the ball required extra strength. Players weren't shaping the boots around football. They were shaping their game around the boots. The beautiful game already existed, but it was slower, rougher, and far more demanding on every player. Yet the boots themselves weren't the greatest obstacle. The ground beneath them was. Because no matter how strong your boots were, they meant very little if you couldn't keep your footing. The next revolution wouldn't happen above the grass. It would begin underneath the sole. Early football wasn't only a battle against opponents. It was a battle against the pitch itself. Most matches were played on uneven natural grass. After heavy rain, many fields turned into deep mud. During winter, others became frozen and unforgiving. Players slipped constantly. Changing direction became unpredictable. Explosive acceleration was almost impossible. Even standing your ground required effort. Football demanded something players had never truly possessed: reliable grip. The solution appeared beneath the boot. Small leather studs were attached to the sole. For the first time, players could drive their feet into the ground instead of sliding across it. It sounded like a tiny improvement. In reality, it changed almost everything. Running became more stable. Turning became quicker. Stopping became more controlled. Confidence slowly replaced hesitation. As football pitches evolved, so did the studs. Leather gradually gave way to wood. Wood was eventually replaced by metal. Each new material offered better traction than the last. With every improvement, players could move a little faster, attack a little sharper, and trust every step a little more. For the first time, the boots were no longer simply protecting the player. They were improving performance. But another problem still remained. One pair of boots had to survive every pitch, no matter how wet, no matter how dry. Football needed a boot that could adapt. And one German craftsman believed he had the answer. By the middle of the 20th century, football had become faster than ever before. But the boots still struggled to keep up. Players often used the same pair, whether the pitch was dry or completely soaked by rain. The result was never ideal. Studs that worked perfectly on firm ground could become dangerously slippery in mud. Longer studs offered better grip in wet conditions, but felt awkward on hard surfaces. One solution simply couldn't fit every match. Then came an idea that changed football forever. What if the studs could be replaced? Instead of changing the entire boot, players could simply change the part that touched the ground. German bootmaker Adolf Dassler turned that idea into reality. His removable screw-in studs allowed players to adapt within minutes. Before kickoff, the boots could now be prepared specifically for the conditions ahead. For the first time, football boots became adjustable tools, rather than fixed pieces of equipment. Most people barely noticed the innovation until one rainy afternoon, when the entire world witnessed exactly what better grip could achieve. It happened at the 1954 World Cup final, a match forever remembered as the Miracle of Bern. On the 4th of July 1954, West Germany faced Hungary in the World Cup final. Few believed Germany had any chance. Hungary had gone unbeaten for 4 years. They were widely considered the greatest team in the world. Just weeks earlier, they had defeated West Germany 83. Everything pointed toward another comfortable Hungarian victory. Then the weather changed. Heavy rain soaked the pitch in Bern. The surface became slippery. Every sprint became a risk. Every change of direction demanded perfect balance. Before kickoff, the German players made one small adjustment. They replaced their shorter studs with longer screw-in studs. The difference seemed insignificant, just a few centimeters beneath each boot. But on the soaked grass, those extra centimeters mattered. Germany found better footing. Their movements looked more secure. Their acceleration remained confident despite the conditions. Hungary still produced moments of brilliance, but Germany refused to lose their grip. Against every prediction, West Germany won 32. History remembers it as the Miracle of Bern. Many factors shaped that unforgettable victory. Discipline, belief, tactics. But the match also revealed something football had never fully understood before. The right boots could become a competitive advantage. Technology had quietly entered the game. And from that moment on, football boots would never again be treated as ordinary footwear. For decades, football boots continued to protect players, but they still carried one major weakness. They were heavy, especially after 90 minutes of rain. Thick leather absorbed water like a sponge. A boot that felt manageable before kickoff could become dramatically heavier by full time. Every extra gram slowed tired legs. Every soaked boot demanded more energy. Players accepted it because they had no alternative. Then manufacturers began asking a different question. What if protection no longer required so much weight? New tanning techniques produced softer leather. Improved manufacturing removed unnecessary bulk. Every new generation of boots became slightly lighter. At first, the difference seemed almost impossible to notice, but over an entire match, the effect became undeniable. Players accelerated more easily. They changed direction more naturally. Their first touch became more delicate. The boot stopped feeling like protective equipment. It started feeling like an extension of the foot. As the weight disappeared, technical football began to flourish. Quick combinations replaced slower build-up play. Close control became more reliable. Creative players discovered movements that earlier generations could barely imagine. Football was becoming faster, more fluid, more expressive. But engineers believed they could go even further. Instead of improving leather, they began wondering whether leather itself still had a future. For nearly a century, leather had defined every football boot. It was trusted, reliable, and deeply connected to the game's tradition. But leather had limits. It absorbed water, it stretched over time, and every improvement eventually reached a ceiling. By the late 20th century, manufacturers began exploring an entirely different future: synthetic materials. At first, many players were skeptical. Leather had always felt natural. Artificial materials felt unfamiliar. Some even questioned whether they belonged in football at all. But technology kept improving. Synthetic uppers became lighter than leather. They resisted water far more effectively. They maintained their shape match after match. Consistency replaced compromise. For the first time, A football boot could feel almost weightless. Players reacted more quickly. Rapid changes of direction became effortless. Explosive acceleration demanded less energy. The game itself began to speed up. Fast wingers became even more dangerous. Creative midfielders found greater freedom in tight spaces. Attackers could play at a tempo that earlier generations rarely experienced. The boots no longer simply followed the evolution of football. They were helping drive it. And soon, manufacturers stopped asking one question: how can we build a better football boot? Instead, they asked something far more ambitious. What kind of footballer are we trying to create? For most of football history, no one paid much attention to a player's boots. Supporters remembered the goals, the trophies, the heroes, not what they were wearing. That slowly began to change. As football reached television screens around the world, every detail became more visible, including the boots beneath the game's greatest players. Manufacturers quickly realized something remarkable. People no longer wanted to wear any football boot. They wanted to wear the same boots as their heroes. The football boot had become more than equipment. It had become part of a player's identity. Pelé helped introduce football to millions around the world. His boots became part of that unforgettable image. Johan Cruyff represented elegance and intelligence. His footwear reflected the changing philosophy of the game. Years later, David Beckham's boots became almost as recognizable as his free kicks. Ronaldo's explosive speed inspired a new generation. His boots promised pace unlike anything football had seen before. Cristiano Ronaldo embraced speed as an obsession. Every new pair reflected power, acceleration, and relentless ambition. Lionel Messi reminded the world that football was still an art. His boots became associated with balance, precision, and effortless control. Every generation found new icons, and every icon inspired millions of young players. Children didn't just copy the goals. They copied the celebrations, the hairstyles, and even the boots. For the first time, football boots had become part of football culture itself. But behind every new design, manufacturers were chasing something far more important than appearance: performance. Because the future of football boots would no longer be decided by style alone. It would be shaped by the different ways players understood the game. For nearly 100 years, most footballers wore almost the same kind of boot: defenders, midfielders, forwards. Everyone trusted virtually identical equipment, but football itself was changing. The game was becoming faster, more tactical, more specialized, and manufacturers began asking an entirely new question. Should every footballer really wear the same boot? A winger lives on explosive acceleration. Every sprint can decide the match. A playmaker values balance and precision. One perfect first touch can unlock an entire defense. A striker depends on clean contact with the ball. One shot can change history. Different players demanded different strengths. One universe boot no longer made sense. Manufacturers responded with entirely new philosophies. Some boots were engineered to disappear beneath the foot. Every gram removed was another advantage for speed. Others featured textured uppers designed to increase grip on the ball. Tiny details helped players control passes under pressure. Some models focused on stability during sharp turns. Others emphasized explosive striking power. For the first time, football boots were being designed around playing styles rather than simply protecting feet. The equipment adapted to the footballer, instead of forcing the footballer to adapt. That change transformed more than the boots themselves. It encouraged players to develop new strengths. Faster wingers attacked with greater confidence. Creative midfielders played in tighter spaces. Forwards attempted finishes that earlier generations rarely imagined. The boot had become part of the tactical evolution of football. But even these innovations were only the beginning. Soon, football boots would no longer be designed by experience alone. Science itself would step onto the pitch. Every great innovation makes one promise: to help athletes perform at their very best. Football boots are no exception. Every new generation claims to be lighter, faster, smarter, more efficient than the last. But every breakthrough also raises an uncomfortable question. How much technology is too much? Football has always celebrated human ability, vision, creativity, technique, decision-making under pressure. Those qualities built the game's greatest legends. Yet modern football boots are now designed using advanced biomechanics, pressure mapping technology, computer simulations, and laboratory testing that previous generations could never have imagined. Every tiny improvement promises another competitive advantage. A fraction more grip, a little more stability, a slightly quicker change of direction. Individually, those advantages seem almost invisible. Together, they can influence the outcome of the highest level matches. Football's governing bodies have often found themselves facing a difficult balance. Innovation keeps the game evolving, but fairness must always remain at its heart. Technology should support talent, not replace it. That is why every major innovation is carefully monitored, because football has never wanted victory to belong to the best equipment. It has always wanted victory to belong to the better footballer. Perhaps that balance between human brilliance and technological progress will become one of football's greatest challenges in the years ahead. Today's football boots are no longer designed by instinct alone. They are built through science. Long before a new boot reaches a professional player, it has already spent years inside laboratories. Engineers study how footballers run, how they accelerate, how they stop, how they strike the ball. Every movement leaves behind valuable information. Pressure sensors reveal exactly where force is applied. Motion capture cameras record every step in extraordinary detail. High-speed video exposes movements invisible to the human eye. Designers no longer rely on guesswork. They rely on data. Every stud is carefully positioned. Every material is tested repeatedly. Every curve has a purpose. Even a few millimeters can change how a player moves. Modern football boots are now prototypes before they become products. Professional players test them. Scientists measure the results. Designers make adjustments. Then the entire process begins again. It is a cycle of constant refinement. Not because football has become easier, but because the margins between victory and defeat have become smaller than ever. At the highest level, one cleaner touch, one faster turn, one extra step of acceleration can decide an entire season. Football boots have become products of engineering. Yet even this remarkable technology may only be the beginning. Because the next generation of football boots may not simply respond to the player, they may learn from them. Every generation has believed it created the perfect football boot, and every generation has eventually been proven wrong. Today, the next revolution is already taking shape. Artificial intelligence is helping designers analyze millions of movements. Advanced software can predict how a boot will perform before it is ever manufactured. Three-dimensional printing is opening new possibilities. Instead of producing identical boots for everyone, manufacturers are moving toward boots designed for individual players. Different feet, different movements, different playing styles. Future boots may fit each athlete with extraordinary precision. Researchers are also developing smarter materials, lighter, stronger, more responsive than anything used before. Some concepts even explore boots capable of adapting to different playing conditions, responding to the pitch beneath every step. What sounds like science fiction today could become ordinary within a single generation. Football has never stopped evolving. Neither have the boots. The players of tomorrow may inherit equipment unlike anything today's professionals have ever experienced. Yet one truth will remain unchanged. No innovation can replace imagination. No material can manufacture courage. No technology can teach creativity. The greatest moments in football will always belong to human beings. The boots simply help unlock what those human beings are capable of. And that is why the story of football boots is still being written. But perhaps their greatest chapter has never been about technology at all. It has always been about possibility. So, how did football boots change the beautiful game? Not by scoring goals, not by winning trophies, and certainly not by replacing talent. Football has always belonged to the people who play it. No pair of boots could create Pelé. No new material could invent Maradona's genius. No engineer could teach Messi how to glide past defenders. Greatness has never been manufactured. It has always come from human imagination, human courage, and countless hours of dedication. But history is rarely shaped by talent alone. Every generation inherits better tools than the one before. Heavy leather became lightweight precision. Simple studs became carefully engineered traction systems. Traditional craftsmanship evolved into modern science. Each innovation quietly removed another limitation. Players ran faster, turned sharper, controlled the ball more naturally, and dared to attempt things that once seemed impossible. Football did not become more beautiful overnight. It evolved, one improvement at a time, one generation after another. Most supporters remember unforgettable goals. They remember legendary players. They remember iconic World Cup finals. Very few remember the quiet innovations beneath every step. Yet those unseen innovations traveled through every era of football, invisible to millions of fans, essential to every player. Perhaps that is the true legacy of the football boot. It never asked to become the star of the game. It simply helped every generation push football a little further. Because the history of football is not only written by the legends we celebrate, it is also written by the invisible innovations that allowed those legends to dream even bigger. Sometimes, the greatest revolutions in history aren't the ones everyone notices. Sometimes, they begin with something as ordinary as a pair of boots. And with every step forward, the beautiful game becomes just a little more beautiful.